All right. Okie dokie. We are now live. So hi everyone. You should be able to hear me. Sound should be good. I'll just have a look if there's any chat stuff. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so we've got 20 minutes before NFP. That's quite a lot of time. I think the best thing to do is probably run through the markets, which will probably take 10-15 minutes. See how the market responds, and then we're at hi Usman. Hello, hello, hello. Usman, before I forget, I was going to say to you that I just in terms of regulation, I can't really respond to questions on a public forum like the YouTube thing. So if you want me to have a look at a trade, WhatsApp me or something directly, but I can't really respond to it if it's on that. I mean, I have in the past, but it's not really a good idea. So yeah, okay. So just so you know. Yes. Cool. All right. So I hope everyone has had a good Friday or a good week trading. My results is quite interesting. I think I was up at 9% early in the week, and then down up at 9% on Monday, and then down at 6 point, and then down at 4, and then 5, and then 6, just up and down. Strangely, just not the usual thing. Excuse me. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on with euro dollar. So euro dollar is in an uptrend. I think if we go to the dollar index, we can get a sense of what's going on. Dollar index is basically range bound. We're stuck within a range. Might as well just mark it out until we're no longer stuck in a range. And all I will do is change this, just take off the border. So it's very subtle, but there it is. Stuck within a range. So we can see what's probably going to happen. Probably we're going to see, look, I don't know where today is because this is delayed, but it will probably hit up to the top of that range, which means I would expect to see a weaker euro US dollar today. That's basically it. Go through to this, then I would expect to see euro dollar head lower today if that's going to be the case. You can see that we are generally creeping lower on the 15 minutes and on the 1 hour. And so we are into this level of potential support, but I think we might tap down towards 1.1 and finish at 1.1. That's just kind of looking at it. Look at this. This is just garbage. I mean, you can't trade that. So sterling is just a mess. I mean, even that 1 hour chart is just garbage. You can't trade that. There's nothing to trade. It's just swinging wildly. Then we have Aussie dollar, US dollar, which is also a little bit of garbage. If I had to highlight this is what we've been dealing with for going back to Wednesday, the 23rd of March. That's more than almost 10 days. Crazy. So just garbage. Okay, ping pong around. Okay, so not ideal. Let's have a look at Kiwi dollar, US dollar, bigger swings. Looking a little bit more bullish at the moment, but a level of resistance up here. Dollar yen. Dollar yen actually looks as though it's had a bit of a pullback into the moving averages, broken this downtrend on the 4 hour. So now the question is it ready to climb higher? So if we get a stronger US dollar, I think we will likely see this push a little bit higher. We'll see how that goes. Oh, my phone is blowing up today. Okay. Dollar Swissy is just not ideal. Not really, no clues, no real direction here. I mean, it's interesting. There are some price action clues. You have like a bit of a downtrend, pulls back here. You get this very nice double rejection. Call it like a tweezer pattern. Okay, call it a tweezer pattern. Nice rejection and a move down. And if you took that trade just based on pure price action, you would have got a 1.5 to 1. And possibly if it does go lower today, we'll see how that goes. But I mean, that's when you're really squeezing out, trying to squeeze stuff out. Looking here at dollar CAD also. Even looking at the daily chart, just the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, just not going anywhere. It does look as though it wants to break lower. We'll see there's some bullish divergence on the indicators. MACD is trending up higher, and this is going sideways, which could mean you get a bit of a rejection and we change trend or we pull back away from that. Hi Richard, hello, thanks for joining. I still haven't managed to work out why there's a bit of a lag. So from when I speak until you hear it, there's about a 7-second lag. It's very odd. Which means that obviously if I want to talk about the market reacting in real time, there's a lag, which is just annoying. Okay, Euro GBP. Also trending a little bit lower, back into this area down towards 84. So now the question is, what's going on with the euro pairs? Are all the euro pairs weakening or are they strengthening? Let's see, euro yen is in a retracement. A lot of the yen charts have produced a daily bullish candle. We'll see how it goes. Euro yen, pound yen, same thing. Look at that level of support, bullish candle, bit of a swing low. So that might be looking to head higher. We've got Aussie yen, same thing again, bullish candle. Kiwi yen, bullish candle. So all of the charts look very, very similar. They're almost indistinguishable from one another, which tells you that a lot of the yen crosses, it's the yen that's driving currently, or for the last month, has been driven largely by the yen pairs. And we've got a bit of an uptrend. Swissy yen, and by the way, credit goes to Usman for spotting that, was it the weekly chart that you spotted ages ago that just had that really good trend. And there you go, you had that really solid breakout to the upside. Well done, nicely spotted. What a move, what a move. Okay, so those are all the yen crosses. Let's go back and have a look at the other yen pairs. We've got Euro Swissy, which is not going anywhere, so I'm just looking here at the daily. Not really going anywhere. Basically, if you go back almost 2 weeks, sort of 2 weeks, we're just stuck within this range, not done anything. Euro CAD, we are potentially heading lower, so we pull back into this. I think it's safe to say that we can get rid of the Fibonacci measurement. It's not a great trend, but it does look like it's heading lower. Euro Aussie, very similar. Euro Kiwi. So what I'm looking at is we've had a bit of a pullback and then we're heading sort of rejection and we're heading lower. So we've got a lower high. So if we have a look at Euro Aussie, same thing, lower high. Euro CAD, lower high. It's just looking more bearish than bullish. Okay, so those are all the euro pairs. They're all basically not trending, but leaning a little bit more bearish. Then we've got GBP pairs. That looks almost as though that is working towards a bit of a bullish breakout, guys. So there could be a break. In fact, that's a very reasonable trade idea as well. In fact, I am happy. It's not the best time to do it on a Friday, excuse me, but I'm happy to place a trade on that. So with my stop loss below the low here. So just bear with me. I'm going to place that order. So pound yen. 1 hour time frame. Tell you where the risk is. The risk is this. I think overall the trend is going to head to the upside, but the risk is effectively that the market, because it's Friday, it's the weekend, a whole lot of stuff, the market could sort of bob down, come back down to these levels, and then carry on and go up. So that's a bit of a concern. So in light of that, I am going to put 0.25% risk on this trade. And my entry, and again, in terms of regulation, I'm not really supposed to talk about this stuff, but my entry will be above these highs here, which on mine, it is the 15 minute. And I'm going to do this before the news comes out. So for me, above that is 6109, 16109, 16109. My stop loss is going to be below the low here. Which I want to see if that's a swing low. We'll see. So that's going to put my stop loss in at about 160.74. Yeah, okay. And then target is going to be a 3-to-1. Just a 3-to-1, which is automatically built in. Okay, that's it. Just going to place the order quickly. There we go. Order is put in, and we'll see how that goes. But there is risk. The risk is not on the trade idea in isolation. The risk is on the circumstances. Friday, end of the week, weekend coming. I could get triggered in, and then the market just goes into a coma, and then all of a sudden it's not there. But if this was a Monday or a Tuesday, or even a Thursday, I would take the trade, probably with full risk. Anyway, just gonna do that. Okay. Next up, pound yen. That's a pound Swissy. Strong rejection of those lows there, so that looks a little bit more bullish than anything else. We'll see. No clear direction. GBP CAD. Just a mess, just a nightmare. Look at this. Unless you're trading the higher time frames, it's just super dangerous. Do I think Euro Aussie will continue to fall off the daily chart? I think it's heading lower. So let's go look at the monthly. The monthly should give us some clues. Okay, so the monthly looks as though it wants to head a little bit lower. Minor rejection there, possibly come back and tap that down. Nice downtrend. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case. I think that's more likely than not. And the weekly, sure, just a weird candle there. There's no divergence or anything. We'll see. And that was a strong rejection. I think it's likely to keep going. Yep. And here it looks like it wants to head lower. Lower high, downtrend. Still intact. Actually, could even be leading up to a breakout to go south. That would be interesting. So you have something like this. As an example. Cool. Pound Aussie, also trending lower. But I would say I would prefer to see it break through this level and go. We haven't really kind of been at that level in a while. You can see in the past it's rejected it. And it could, to be fair, because it's had a big move down, it could bounce back. It could come back up to here and then come back down. But it looks like it wants to keep going. And a little bit flatter, but not bullishly divergent. So there I'm leaning 55 once they 55% head lower, 45% head higher. All right. Pound Kiwi. Not a lot going on. Even here again, the last 6 days, 7 days, just a mess. Aussie Kiwi. Aussie Kiwi has got something going for it, I think. I can actually get rid of this zone now. But yeah, came back down within the range, has tested this. It's going to have a bit of a reaction up here, but I think it wants to push higher. A little bit to do that. I mean, a little bit more of that. You look at that 1 hour, we've got a bit of a bullish candle. This is not necessarily a bad setup at all. Nice little level there of kind of intraday support and nice little bullish candle here. So usually this would be a trade idea. Enter above the high of that green candle, stop loss below the low over here. Yeah, something like that. Take off. That would be, we'll see how that goes. Okay, gotta just keep an eye on the time. Aussie CAD, bullish. Really look at that, pretty nice. So nice little bullish price action there. I know this is garbage compared to some of the other stuff, but it seems to have a bit more of a direction, sort of a breakout. It's got a level of resistance here, so I wouldn't trade it, but I feel like keep an eye on it. It'll develop into a trend. This is pull back into a nice little level here. Could be something decent there on Aussie peso, Aussie Swissy, Aussie Kiwi, Aussie Swissy, Aussie CAD, all looking more bullish than bearish, and Aussie Yen, of course. So all of those look like they're creeping high. So it seems to me that looking at the Aussie pairs could provide some trend-based opportunities next week, which would then include Euro Aussie and Pound Aussie, logically. Kiwi CAD, nothing. Look at that, just range bound. Look, if you are forced to, you can trade the range, top to bottom. But it really shouldn't be the first choice. It's still volatile. It's still, can still change direction within that box. It's not ideal. Kiwi Swissy coming back to this level here. Bullish candle could go up from there. Let's see, Kiwi Yen. We've spoken about that already. Excuse me. CAD Yen and Swissy Yen. Okay, all of those. Let's look at gold. Just keep an eye on the time. Range bound on gold. Still, and I don't really expect we'll see too much change today. I think the thing that's more likely to change gold will be interest rates right now. So not NFP or anything, but I think rate hikes are likely to be, or any trade stuff. In other words, anything other than just normal day-to-day trading might actually be the thing that bumps it out, but I don't know. I should say what I mean is I'm not super qualified to speak on that. Interesting looking at silver. Silver's looking way more bearish than bullish at this point in time. And that could be a clue. How do the other metals look? They look fine. And platinum looks bullish. Copper looks bearish. So you've got mixed signals here. Silver bearish, copper bearish, platinum bullish, palladium going nowhere, gold going nowhere. But if you look at that looks like a short trade in isolation right now in real time. That looks like a sell signal right there. Boom. Wait till it finishes. Entry below the low. Stop loss above the high, which is above a support resistance level, which is great. And collect profits. Ideally, it's somewhere at a 3-to-1, but there's some major levels here. These are big levels. Next level down is about 1900, give or take. So, yeah, somewhere like that. Something. That should be a safe bet. Interesting. Interesting. And of course now it's changing shape. So it's only valid if it's a rejection candle. That doesn't mean anything to me if it closes as anything differently in the next 1 minute and 4 seconds. So there we go. So that is negated if it doesn't close as to the downside. Okay. And we've got 1 minute. Let's go and have a look. So let's go see how the market reacts to this. Let's go to our 15 minutes, have a look at that, and we'll do the 1 hour at the same time so we can get some perspective on this. And let's see what happens. Okay. Let's see. So how do I think pound Kiwi off the daily chart will continue to fall? I'm guessing, yeah, but I haven't actually had a look at it, but I'm guessing if pound Aussie is going to fall, pound Kiwi could head lower, just based off what I was saying. What do we got? Let's see what happens. So, as a general rule, the trend for jobs numbers has been good. Let's have a look. Let's see what happens. If the numbers roughly anticipated or not bad, markets, okay, nothing yet. Really not much happening. Let's see what's going on the actual numbers here if we have them. Okay, still waiting on that. So this implies a slightly stronger dollar. But again, if you sat in on one of these non-farm payrolls, I've always said, and I'll say it again, the direction, the ultimate direction will only settle in the afternoon. And sometimes on Monday, it could just reverse again. So trading NFP is a very, very, I think a very tricky thing to do. We're not getting much of a market reaction here. We're talking pips, and it's going to swing a bit, and it could end up climbing for the next 2 hours and then reversing. It's just all over the place. It's a really dangerous idea. Look at it. It's gone almost nowhere at this point in time. So what are the numbers? Come on, guys. So there we go. Less than forecast, but still good. I mean, if we go and get some perspective on this, forget about forecast. Actual. Let's take actual numbers. I mean, we're still positive. We're still going up. We had those kind of, it seems okay to me. We could get revised. We'll see. And forecast is ridiculous because there's always this, oh, well, we expected this, and then there was just adverse reaction. So to me, why I'm wondering is this negative? Was it minus 431? I just want to see how that's taken it. Anyway, so it could be red because it's less than the 492, and suddenly I'm blanking on that. Unemployment rate has dropped to 3.6, which is good, right? So stronger economy should be stronger dollar, which should be weaker euro. Okay, stronger economy should have lower unemployment. So should be weakening, would be, which we spoke about. So technically we were saying we felt the euro should weaken lower because if we looked at the, was it the, why did I, oh, because of the dollar index. So the expectation was that the dollar index was in a range and therefore was likely to head up. So therefore the euro would probably take a knock lower, and so that's what we would have expected. So technically it's doing what we would have expected, and it kind of makes sense fundamentally as well. Stronger dollar because of a stronger economy. That's the implication. So there we go. Nothing super sexy or exciting about it, but that's what it would do. Let's have a look at pound Kiwi, guys. Let's move on. Yeah, I mean, it's slowing down here for sure. So there's definitely a level here and a level here. Let's have a look at pound Kiwi. We've got a level there, so that makes sense. Why that reaction? And if that holds, I think it's fair to say that's a weekly level. So let's put that in. Where it is. So there we go. And if it breaks through that, we can expect it to head down lower. So it's come up, reacted. I'm inclined to think there could be a bounce off this level, but it does really look more bearish than bullish. So I have to be prepared for both. It's just meaning I have to watch it. But I would, let me put it another way. Once it breaks through that level, then I'll be looking for shorts. But until it breaks through it, it could also head higher. Okay. So you kind of, when you get to places like that where it could very, like sometimes it looks more bearish. Now it looks like based off a long move all the way down, it could react to the upside. And therefore, what would I need to see? I was just thinking there. What would I need to see to let it to convince me it's going to head low? I need to see it break back below those levels. I wouldn't be trading it where it is now down to there. That's a bit crazy. I would wait for it to break through that level, then go short. Excuse me. Gold. So interesting. There, it closed with an indecision candle and still continued down. So that signal there at the time was bearish, but it's also followed through on it. So we'll see how that goes. And silver will head lower. I'm pretty sure that'll keep going. Crude oils. Let's look at crude oils. So crude oils, there's reason to believe they'll essentially fundamentally head lower. But the real thing would be how overextended are they. So if you look at the weekly, they can come back down to these lows if they're going to do it. We've got a lower high here. We've got a lower high in the weekly. Coming back down to 85 or 75. It's a really good area for it to find support. Monthly. Yeah, it's just a rejection off that level. So any kind of a pullback to 85 to 73 would be a good place for it to recover and carry on going. But otherwise, principally, I think the uptrend is still mostly intact. We've got a lower high here, but we don't have a lower low yet. So it can still find support here and bounce off that. But I think, yes, in the short term, likely to head maybe down and test that level. I feel like I'm not really on fire today. So what else? These, I'm still bullish on the indices, still bullish on these. They've had a really nice pullback into these levels here. We've got recent highs, so we had a really big move up with very little retracements. Came up to these highs. I want to see what happens with this. Need to kind of see what happens with that. Really struggling at that level here. Really struggling. The only way it's going to get through that is if there's a solid breakout candle that just breaks through that level of resistance. S&P. Oh, I was looking for a trade setup here. So that never happened. It's set up, but didn't really follow through. So let's take that away. And let's see what's going to happen with that. So now it's pulled back into this level. Small bullish candle here could end up being a buy signal for next week. So this is what I'd like to see, is have this close as a bullish candle today, if it does, and I have to wait till 10 o'clock because non-farm payroll Fridays, they're all over the place until 5, 6 o'clock UK time. And then you start to get a sense of where it's going to go. And then it goes till like 10 o'clock. So this would have to close, if it closes obviously as a bearish candle, if it closes down, it's going to come back down to here next week. But if it does manage to close bullish or where it is, I think it's likely to then continue higher next week, which means it can go on my watch list. Nasdaq. Nice little bullish inside candle. They're all the same so far. What about the DAX? Same bullish inside candle. And again, cryptos will just follow suit. So that looks bullish, and a bullish inside candle could happen on Saturday or Sunday because it goes over the weekend. Yeah, there we go. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's nothing super exciting. Anything that you guys would like me to have a look at before we wrap up? That was it. That was all I wanted to do today. Run through the market, see if there's anything that looks pretty good, and then see how this goes. But as I said, I'm expecting equities to climb today. If they don't, that's fine. It just updates my plans for next week. We've had a drop down, a climb back up. So the market has not yet decided what to do about the numbers, and it doesn't matter. All the things that move the market are not just based off the news. There's already stuff in place for months and weeks and stuff that various investment firms and institutions have in play anyway. Non-farm just provides an additional layer of activity that might change some policies, but I doubt it. I mean, we're expecting job numbers to remain low, unemployment numbers to keep dropping, because there are lots of economic factors in the US that are good, despite the fear of inflation and all those various things. And that's a real potential danger. Inflation could be the thing that cripples us going forwards. We'll see. Thank you. Thanks for the compliment on the live feed. I don't know if that's you, Stu, or Joe, but yes, thank you very much. It just says ForexVox. Do you think dollar yen will continue to rise on the weekly chart? I actually also, by the way, just randomly have my ForexVox account open to do on that. I was just looking at the dollar index. There were a few things that weren't on this platform, but yeah, I'm always happy to use that one. I thought so, Stu. Thanks. Do I think dollar yen will continue to rise on the weekly chart? Let's go look. Boom. It's a little overextended. I think the trend is going to continue for a while, likely, but I do think it's a bit overextended. Check out the monthly. Has it come into any major levels? Let's just mark a few of these things here. I'm not looking at the right, I'm looking at the left, so I don't really know what it's doing. Yeah, so we're in a patch of resistance. We haven't had a touch in a while. That looks really good. It looks like it wants to keep going, but I think there's a good chance that in this area it could have a rejection and come back down. We'll have to see how that goes. So I will watch that. But so far, it's had a look at that daily kind of recovery. What I can say is it's had a good retracement. It's keen to carry on going. The question is will it be able to push all the way back up to the top, or will it encounter difficulties in these areas here? So that brings you back down to these hours. We've just recovered. We look good. I mean, even looking at this, look how nice this is as price action goes. It's broken up above this level, support resistance, and it's come back down. And it looks nice little bullish candle right now. So I've got a couple of tools that I really like on MT4. And the one that is generating my support resistance lines is called fractal support resistance. Fractal support resistance. And I like it. I can do it myself, but it also generates pretty good, picks all the turning points, it picks levels relatively well. And it does more detail when you go further down and less detail when you go up. So it really focuses on that. And the second thing that I like to do as well, I pinched it off another MT4, which is an IG clock, which is the candle countdown, which gives me a nice little countdown there to when the candle closes, which is in 19 minutes. Hey, Goodie, how you doing? Thank you very much. Feel free to comment on the page on YouTube if there's stuff you want me to do, and then when I am going live, I'll just do that. So if you go, I like this, could you look at that, or can you talk about this? I'm happy to do that. So so there we go. Those are two very cool little apps, little things that I like to use, scripts. But I think what I'll do is I'll set up a little shared Dropbox or something, and then I can share the link and people can access it or something, and I'll post it when I get the chance to do that. Okay, so dollar yen looking more bullish than bearish. Let's see how it goes, but certainly leaning that way, starting to head it back into an uptrend. So yeah, okay guys, well thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to wish you a wonderful weekend, and yeah, we'll see how we're April already. As usual, I think that there will be some good opportunities in the market. What I'm really interested to see is how well the equity markets have coped. They've still got bullish monthly candles. Will we break the high and continue higher on in these markets? We'll have to see how that goes. Or are we potentially at the beginning of a lower high and we're going to carry on down? The monthly says it wants to go higher, but the confirmation for me will be when we break this, we've got to break the high there. So I need to break above that there, which puts us, where is that line? Which is here, which puts me, where is it? I can't find it now. Okay, there we go. Make it thicker. And it's on all time frames. Daily, there we go. So we just have to get back over this in the next week, and then we're going to head up higher. That's good. All right, thank you guys. I'll let you go, and then this will be recorded and uploaded. All right, thanks very much. Take care, guys.